Let me ask you something. How many times have you been on a call with a lead and the only thing on your mind was, how do I close the deal? And that's the problem. Because the second a lead feels like you only care about the sale, they're gone. And here's what nobody in real estate wants to admit. Closing is not a technique. Closing is a result. It's the result of doing everything right up towards signing the contract. And at Lead Estate, we call this step winning deals. And it's step 4 in our growth formula. So today, I'm going to break down exactly what winning deals actually means, why most real estate agencies are losing deals they should be closing, and what you need to do differently starting today. Now, before we get into it, this video is actually part of a full series. We've broken down every single step of our growth formula into its own dedicated video. It is the most complete data-driven growth system built specifically for real estate. So if you want a complete blueprint for growing your real estate business, from generating your first lead all the way to closing deals and scaling predictably, go check it out on our page, subscribe and watch the full series. But right now, we're going to focus on step 4, winning deals. It's the end goal in the whole client acquisition process. Without deals, no ROI, no revenue, no profit, and no business at all. But most companies try to focus too much on selling instead of seeing selling as what it is, building trust and building relationships. The fact is that in real estate agencies or developers get paid once the sale is made. For new construction, agents get paid by the developer. So in theory, they work for the developer. And a lot of people feel like agents are biased. But clients always need to feel like you are the one that's helping them, that you work for them. You're helping them, not selling them. And this is the switch that you need to make. So in this video, I'm not going to talk about the perfect sales script or what to precisely say to your clients. I'm going to talk about what 5 most important areas to focus on if you want to actually close deals. It is essential to know that in all these 5 areas, you need to come from a place and mindset of helping instead of selling. And if you do this, you will build trust, build relationships, and close deals. The first category is the basics. And there is hundreds of basic things that I can outline here. Look presentable. Make sure you communicate clearly. Make sure you answer quickly. Make them feel like you're working for them. Have a personality that they can connect with and talk to, as if you are their friend. Dress well. Make them feel like you are actually putting in the effort. Have a nice website. Have a great logo, and I can go on and on and on. I think you know as well what makes you presentable and which basics are important. But if you don't implement them, they are for sure gonna lose you deals. So take a look at all the details, all the basics. Are you actually focusing on that? The core purpose of having the basics right is that people judge you in a second. Within the first 5 seconds, they already know who they're talking to, and they already have some form of judgment or feeling about you. So as I said, being presentable and having the basics right isn't gonna bring you deals, but it will for sure lose you deals because you have not implemented this. And if from the first moment of contact, looking at your website, seeing that you have a Gmail as email instead of a company email, seeing that you have a photo on your website with you holding a beer instead of a professional photo, the judgment is made instantly. And if people don't like what they see or don't feel good about it, they will go with another real estate company. The second category is positioning in the market. As you probably know, you probably have 1,000 competitors or even more. And in real estate, you're all selling the same thing. You're selling the same properties, the same projects, the same apartments, and the same service. So if everyone is selling the same properties, and if everyone's selling the same service, what do they buy? They buy you. They buy your company. Of course, you also should be the best, but keep in mind that in order to make the deal, you should be the best in their eyes. And all of that comes down to the right positioning. You want to position yourself in the market as a person that they can trust and build a relationship with, and a person and company that is there for them. And you can only position yourself in the right way for your prospect if you ask questions and know what they think is important. Let me give you an example. If you ask your prospect questions and actually listen, then you hear what they want and what they think is important. So if they, for example, tell you that in their experience from most real estate agencies, they didn't really feel like they were helped. They felt like the other real estate agent was biased and just wanted to sell them the deal. Then you need to position yourself as the opposite of that. But it also needs to be true. If you're a real estate agent that's also biased, that's also just there to sell them, then it's not going to work. You need to be authentic and you need to have integrity with what you're actually saying. But in this case, you want to position yourself as someone that they can trust, that is not biased, and that's actually there for them. And you don't do this by just telling it to them because, well, everyone can say this. It's all about the way you frame it. And the way you do that is by real-time stories. For example, you can share stories about what other agents in the market have done, which makes them untrustworthy. Not a specific agent, but in general. Stories that you've heard and that you think are ridiculous in your eyes. Because then you can follow that up with your philosophy. You say, yeah, what I've heard is this and this and this, and this has happened to other people. And to me, that's absolutely crazy, because what our core values are within our company is that we're here to serve you, right? You want to find the right property. It's not for me to just sell you any property and get the commission from the developer. Because my business is all about word of mouth and referrals and making our clients happy. And some don't really feel that way. So that is why I believe it's so important that I will help you find the right home. This is just an example of what you could say to one of your clients. You always want to speak from your core values, your philosophy on the market, and basically what your philosophy is on helping people find the right home, compared to other negative experiences that your prospect has had. And then you come from helping, and you come from a place of what do you truly feel and why do you do what you do? Positioning is not putting on your website saying, yeah, we always respond fast and we are passionate about real estate and we are very personal. This is what everyone says. It's about the feeling that they have about how you position yourself in the market and what your philosophy is. It's not specific things. It's your entire outlook on the real estate market and why you do what you do. And of course, everyone can just say this, but you need to live it. They need to feel it. Because trust me, if you just say it but don't mean it, they will not trust you. For example, one of the next videos in this series will be about high standards. At Lead Estate, we preach high standards because we believe it's the core of everything that you do as a business. But what would happen if I would preach high standards to all of our clients, but actually don't operate according to high standards ourselves? Would they trust us? I don't think so. What I want you to do in terms of positioning yourself in the market is I want you to write down everything you don't like about what other real estate agencies or what your competitors are doing. That is not in the best interest of their clients and prospects. Then write down why you don't like this and why you feel like they should do it another way. Because then you really have an outlook on the real estate industry as a whole, what you see and what you feel about how this real estate industry operates in your local area and what you do and don't agree with. And everything you don't agree with, you create your own philosophy on what you do agree with and the way that you feel how real estate agencies or developers should actually operate in this area. And this way you create your own philosophy and your own positioning in the market. And that is what people buy. They buy your philosophy, they buy your way of thinking, and they buy with you because they feel like you are different from the rest. You are not like the other real estate agencies. You are not like the others. You are there for them. And that makes the entire difference. And then we come to the third category, which is social proof. This is really an extension of the last point, because you can say that you operate from a specific philosophy and specific morals compared to the rest of the industry. If you then don't deliver a service that is aligned with those morals and with that philosophy, then people will not have a good experience. But what you need to do is you need to tell them what you want to deliver and actually deliver it. It needs to be aligned. It is essential that what you tell in your marketing and your sales, that you actually deliver. And if you deliver an amazing service, that is when people are happy about you, refer you to others, and give reviews. And reviews and positive stories from others and from old clients are essential. Why? People are social creatures and people look at what other people do. If 100 people say that they're happy about this, then they trust this. If 100 people say, no, don't do this, this is not of quality, then people won't do it. And it's exactly the same in business. The more positive reviews and the more real reviews that you have with real people, on video, on Google reviews, on Facebook reviews, putting your reviews on social media, or even making videos with people that have bought from you and have had an amazing experience. The more real and tangible and the higher quantity and quality of your reviews, the more people will trust you and buy from you. A big part of real estate is referrals. Reviews and testimonials is the exact same, but then online on social media and on your website. People buy what other people trust and like because in their eyes, it's already proven that this service is of quality. So the more reviews, the more testimonials you put out there and the more results that you put out there, the better. Especially if you're selling real estate investments, where you can literally show the yearly ROI and the return on people's investments. So the more you can back these reviews and testimonials with actual numbers and results, the more trust you create with your potential clients. At Lead Estate, we do the same. We actually fly out to clients that we got results for. We take a tour on their projects and we do podcasts and interviews with them, talking about our partnership and about our relationship. Not only is this extremely fun to meet our clients in person and to get to know them on a personal level, it also creates more trust for our potential clients than a simple review on Google, because they can really see and feel how we interact with clients and what the results are in a long form video. I'm not saying that if you sold a house that you should record a podcast with your clients. That's not really something that's common within real estate, or maybe even a bit staged, but it does give you an example of that you want your reviews and your testimonials to be as real and tangible as possible. So remember, people buy what people they like and trust. That brings us to the last two categories. And they're both combined, however, they're a bit different. The first three categories were more as a positioning and marketing and feeling standpoint. But these next two categories are all about action. And what I want to say is that you can have the basics right. You can have your positioning right. You can have all the social proof you want. But most deals are lost because of not following up on the long term. You need to keep following up with people over the long term. In real estate, you're simply dealing with a long-term sales cycle. For most people, buying a house or buying a property is one of the biggest expenses in their entire life. So they want to make a careful decision, and they won't make a decision within a few seconds. Sometimes you get a lead and it can take up to 6 to 12 months or even 2 years before they actually buy. And if you don't follow up on the long term, your competitors will. And there can be two main reasons why most real estate companies do not do the long-term follow-up. The first is a mindset problem. You come from selling instead of helping. And that's why you have a belief in your mind that when you reach out on the long term or when you follow up, that you feel like you're bothering them, that they don't want to be disturbed. And that's because you are selling, you're not helping. If you truly believe that you're the best agent for them and that there's all these other agencies trying to get a hold of them, trying to sell them, but you feel that you are the best for them, reaching out to them means that you're helping them choose the right real estate agent. The second reason is that you simply don't do the follow-up. You're busy with other things. You don't keep your agents accountable. You don't have a CRM system. There's no overview in your company. Or you simply accept that it's the standard within your company to not follow up with all the leads consistently. So if you don't do the long-term follow-up, you don't have anyone to show the basics to that you have implemented. You don't have anyone to talk about your positioning. You don't have anyone to show your results and show the social proof that you've built up. You need to get into contact with them. And it's your responsibility. Don't think, oh, if they really want to, they will reach out to me. People do what is easy. And if other agencies and other real estate companies reach out to them, that's who they go for. So you need to keep being top of mind and come from helping instead of selling. This brings us to category 5, which is all about after sales. And this ties directly into long-term follow-up, because what a lot of real estate companies do is that if they do the long-term follow-up, they stop after the deal is closed. But as I said before, real estate is a referral business. It's a relationship business. So that means that after the deal, after the sale, you want to keep improving and building this relationship with your old clients. If you treat every old client that you ever had as a friend that you regularly message, that you regularly check in with, not only on a business level but also on a personal level, you are building extremely valuable relationships. Because not only do people buy a property multiple times in their life, they also have friends and family that also buy multiple times in their life. So building a relationship with one client could get you 2, 3, 4, or even more clients in the long run. And that's why you want to have specific strategies in place on a personal level for the after sales. Not only sending a newsletter every month or sending him an automated message after a year asking them how it is living in the new property. It's sending them a picture when you're in the stadium of a football team that your client loves. It's wishing them happy birthday. It's writing a handwritten note after a year after they bought the property. And if it's someone that's well connected, why not invite the person out for dinner after a few months or a year? There are so many things that you can do to build a relationship after the deal is done. Because if you keep being top of mind with people that have bought from you in the past, you are the first person that they think about when a friend or family tells them that they want to buy a property. So now we have covered all the 5 categories. I have a specific exercise for you to do. List all the 5 categories: the basics, positioning, social proof, long-term follow-up, and after sales on a piece of paper. And behind every category, I want you to write what you are currently implementing as a specific strategy and as part of a specific protocol that you're currently actively using inside of your company. Only write down the things that you're actually implementing in this category. Because most real estate agencies and most real estate companies, they know that these 5 things are important. They know that they should do them. But have you actually slowed down and taken the time to carefully review these 5 categories and integrate them as part of the protocol that you implement within your company? Once you've done that, I want you to write one thing in each category that you can implement that you currently haven't implemented yet. Just one thing, and start implementing that into your company and into your protocols. And make sure that your team actually executes on them. And after you've implemented them, you can do the same thing again. What's one thing that I can add in this process that will increase the trust and the relationships that you build with your clients to be able to help them better, which will result in closing more deals? Not from selling, but from helping. Thank you for watching this video. As I said, this video is part of a series, so make sure that you go to our YouTube channel, watch all of the other videos, and actually implement all the things that we say. And hopefully we're able to make impact on your company. But we can only make impact if you execute. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.